The biggest mistake I made in my business was not hiring a professional to help me with my money. Not just my taxes, but the actual plan I had for my business. I was completely lost on how to handle taxes, what to do with profit, and how to maintain my income. I had to find a better way. That's when I found Core Financial. Core Financial is a team of tax professionals that actually care about building real relationships with their clients. They run my books, keep me up to date with my finances, and make sure I'm taking full advantage of all of my tax benefits. Are you struggling with your finances? Look no further. Core Financial is a brand that is nationwide that can help you with your business. Both Nick and I are huge fans of Core, and they can help you too. Check out howtofilmweddings.com/core to schedule a consultation today. Core Financial, real relationships, no surprises.
Hello and welcome to How to Film Weddings. My name is Nick Miller and I am joined as always by Mr. John Bunn. John, we did something special today. I'm excited for us to talk about it. Before that, how you doing?
I'm like all amped up on energy and caffeine at the moment. We did something, like you said, pretty exciting. We just went live in our free workshop group over at howtofilmweddings.com/free workshops. Lots of people in on it. We were talking all about how to make more money without raising your prices. That subject obviously gets me really amped up. We talk about how you've gone from $2,000 bookings to $10,000, almost $10,000 bookings.
3,000.
We talk about elevating 3,000 to 10,000 by raising your prices a lot. We talked about that, which gets me excited. We talk all about, like three main things that really can help you raise your prices without actually raising your prices, making more money without raising your prices. So really excited about this episode. We thought it would be good to turn this into a podcast just in case you missed the live. We're doing a few more of these trainings before we launch something really exciting. Nick, do you want to tell them what we're launching? You want to make them listen? What do you want to do?
I'll make them listen. But again, this is a free workshop that we did. So this was recorded live. So just know that ahead of time that we were talking to the people, we were interacting a little bit. So some of it might not translate over to podcast, but the information when John and I get in there definitely will. So John, how about we just jump over into this free workshop?
Let's do it.
All right.
Nick Miller.
Dude, what's up?
Man, I was just in my office just jamming out. I love me a good countdown with a hype beat. I can't help myself.
I know you do. Man. So what's
up?
You
know that I do. Well, I mean, just excited about today. I don't know if you know or not, but big time stuff going on.
Yeah, I know. We are doing a free workshop here. Really excited about this. Okay, I'm going to leave. I know there are people we're on Zoom and we're on Facebook, two places at once. I'm going to leave you to do all of the admitting people in on Zoom over there because it's kind of driving me crazy a little bit because I got a lot of stuff going on. So that's on you. But I'm doing good. I am so excited for us to be here and do this little thing today.
Oh, it's not a little thing, Nick. It's a big thing. But yes, I'm excited. I'm admitting people in. There's still people joining fashionably late as possible. If you are on Zoom or Facebook, can you just double check that you can hear us real fast? Just leave a comment, say heyo or hello or what's up or howdy or bonjour, whatever you want to say. Just say hello real fast in the comments. Can you guys hear our microphones okay? Are we coming through? Let us know what's up. Make us giggle. Whatever you want to do.
Make us giggle.
Nick, how do I on Zoom here make it where I just see you and me instead of all these pretty faces that are on Zoom?
Know.
Is that possible?
I don't know.
Okay.
Dude, I don't know.
All right. I'm going to go to speaker view then so I can just see you. There we go.
There you go.
Okay. Now I can see you. So I'm letting people in. We've got a bunch of people on Facebook. A lot of people saying howdy. Matthew Douglas, Lauren Francisco, Justin, everybody is saying they can hear us loud and clear. Nick, today we are pumped because this is a subject that I think has changed both of our lives. And that's what we want to do today is we want to help. We're amped up. I've had a lot of caffeine and we're excited to let you in on a couple of the things that we've been doing. And so without further ado, Nick, if you're ready, I'm ready to jump into this bad boy.
Yeah, man. So this is something that we're doing. Sorry, got a little brain fart there. We are really excited to be doing this free workshop today. So as we're talking, if there's anything that sticks out to you, be sure to put it in the chat. We might have a little time at the very end for a little Q&A. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll kind of see. We got about an hour planned for this. But here's something really cool that we really didn't mention a lot beforehand, John, is that we are going to be giving away not one, but two $100 Amazon gift cards at the end of our little workshop thing here. Now, the caveat is you have to be present. You have to be in the chat to win. So you got to hang on. But it's going to be really good information. This is going to help you in your business, help you succeed in your business, help you charge more money and make more money without raising your prices. So it's like a double win for you. Win.
I mean, you could win an Amazon gift card. We're all at home, we're doing things, and it's like Amazon gift card. Nick was like, hey, we should give something away. I was like, let's give some Amazon gift cards away. Let's do it. Because we're nice people like that. And we want to hook you up for investing in yourself. And that's what we're here to do today, is help you invest into you. So if you are out there, you can hear my voice. If you want to invest into you today, I don't do this a lot, but I want you to physically type in the comments that I'm here to learn, that I want to learn today. I think that committing and putting it out there into the universe, say, I want to learn, I'm here to learn. You're committing to us. We will give you the best that we can give you if you'll do the same for us. So I'm seeing the comments coming in. Here to learn. I want to learn. Of course I want to learn. I love it. All right. That gets me amped up that people are excited to learn like we are.
Absolutely. And so the thing that we are talking about today is how to make more money without raising your prices. Kind of a thing that as John and I were talking about, this idea of charging more, but not like raising your base price. So how have we been able to do that? We're going to talk about some things that we have done in our businesses and ways that we have actually been able to charge more to our clients and make more for that. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm stoked.
Now, John, you and I have been around doing a podcast called How to Film Weddings for, almost 2 years now, but there's probably some people that are just tuning in. They saw our ad. They might not know who we are. So why don't I'll let you talk a little bit about who we are real briefly.
I'm replicating the photo on the screen. Just trying to.
You are.
No, Nick and I started How to Film Weddings. It came after I found Nick online. He posted this tutorial video. And I was like, man, that looks like the kind of education that I want to put out into the world. I'd been shooting weddings since '07. I've got a company here in Tulsa called Redeemed Productions. And I wanted to do some education because I, over time, had developed a lot of systems on how to make more money. And people that were shooting that had way better results in their editing and shooting than me were charging way less than me. And so I started getting lots of messages and people saying, how are you charging that much? What are you doing to charge that much? And I realized Nick lived a couple hours away and had him second shoot with me at a wedding. And I was making about $8,000 or $9,000 for this wedding that I was shooting. And Nick, came along and shot with me and was like, how much are you making for this? And I was like, I think it's like $9,000. And you could just see his eyes like, oh my goodness, like I'm charging way less than that. Like, how are you doing this? And we just became fast friends. I remember getting lunch together and then spending the day together. And then the relationship just kept going from there. Like we just kept texting, we kept asking questions. Nick was like, can I pay you to help me learn how to make more money doing these weddings? And I was like, can I pay you to help me edit weddings like you're doing? And it was like, maybe we should just give each other feedback. And that slowly turned into a YouTube channel, which blossomed into a podcast. And in October of 2018, we launched How to Film Weddings. And man, it has blown up. We are in like hundreds of countries around the world, hundreds of thousands of downloads of the podcast. And honestly, can't believe this is our life now. So
yeah,
that's
definitely.
The basics. Who are we? Anything else to add to that?
Yeah, no. My name is Nick Miller. I don't even know if we shared each other's names. My name is Nick Miller. I am based in Wichita, Kansas. And my business that I run with my wife is Wild Oak Films. John over there is John Bunn, Redeemed Productions in Tulsa, Oklahoma. As we've talked about our podcast, this week, as of recording this, we have launched episode number 119. So over 100 episodes, just moving along. So that's a little quick story kind of about who we are. So our main goal in everything that we have done since before we actually started our podcast, whenever we just had, YouTube channel and we were creating some content and making stuff for people. Our whole goal was to elevate the wedding video industry. We wanted to make the wedding video industry be able to charge more and help people see the value in themselves, but help our clients see value in that. And we believe that if we're helping all of each other grow and succeed and charge more and make films that we're proud of and create these beautiful works of art, that we will all help each other and we will grow the industry. So that's really our heart behind how to film weddings.
Exactly. And honestly, we wanted to elevate the wedding video industry. And I guess the question we have to ask you is, do you want to elevate your brand? Are you in a mindset to where you are ready to take your brand to the next level? 2020 has been punching us and jabbing us from all different ways. There's multiple hurricanes hitting in certain parts of our country right now. We're on lockdown. There's all this stuff being in the way. And we want to remind you that, your business is still here and we can thrive through something like this brand. So if you want to elevate your brand, post in the comments, I want to elevate my brand. All right.
Yeah.
I want to. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I want to.
So what we're here to talk about today, again, is how to make more money without really raising your prices. So we're going to talk about systems. We're going to talk about things that John and I are both doing in our businesses that, I have learned from him, that he has learned from me, ways that we're just helping each other so that we can come back to our clients and show them the value that we bring so that we are able to charge them more money, but still keeping that base price, the same. So, how to make more money without raising your prices. A few things that we're going to talk about today. One, including less in your packages. I remember whenever I started out this 8 years ago, I think my package that I sold for about $1,000 was a 2-minute highlight video, a 10-minute highlight video, a full ceremony, all of the toasts, and all of the dances. And yes, I was just getting started out, but there was so much stuff in there for such a little price. And guess what happened to me, John?
What happened, my friend?
I got overbooked and I got burnt out really, really early on. So we're going to talk about including less in your packages. The next thing we want to talk about is... I was gonna let you talk.
I'm sorry, you're cutting out a little bit. Is Nick's internet a little choppy? Is mine a little choppy? I'm hearing about like 9 out of every 10 words that you're saying. So I want to make sure that it's just maybe my headphones or something. It's saying fun. Nick's internet is cutting out a little bit. So if that ends up being an issue, we'll figure something out. Mm-hmm. It's okay. So yes, the next thing we want to talk about too, people are saying it's fine. So they're good. Nick is good on Zoom. That's good. Sorry. So after talking about including less in packages, that's the first thing. The second thing we want to talk about in this, how to make more money without raising your prices, comes down to elevating the experience that you give your couples. And we're going to get all into that, elevating the experience. We're going to get all into the including less in your packages. And we're also going to talk about the third thing, which is the biggest thing for us, and that is educating your clients throughout the planning process. And so those are the 3 areas that we're going to really dive into. And if we can help you change your mindset regarding including what you're including in your packages and how you're treating your couples in the full experience and how you're educating them along the way, if your mindset can shift on that, you can do what I've been able to do this year and what Nick's been able to do, and that is to make so much more money per couple, which is raising your prices without raising your prices, making more money without raising your prices. So we're really excited to get into that.
Really, really excited about this. So one thing that John and I we're just kind of looking forward, and I know that we're still in kind of uncertain territory whenever it comes to COVID-19 and being on lockdown or not lockdown and all that kind of stuff. But if stuff continues to lax and open up and do more, we're looking at for 2021 to be a crazy year where we have so many couples that have pushed back their 2020 weddings into 2021. And then we have all the 2021 weddings. So it's almost like we're going to have 1.5 or 2 years of wedding crammed into 1 year of weddings, which is just nuts. Okay. So here are a few things that we want to help you as we're thinking about this. John?
Yeah, if you don't know your numbers thinking about into 2021, you're going to potentially overbook yourself. If you know, with 2 different years packed into 1 year, if you don't know your numbers, you're going to potentially lose out on a ton of money by saying yes to things you shouldn't say yes to. If you don't know your pricing, same thing. If you don't know how to properly price yourself for 2021, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. So, I mean, that is, I think a lot of us are so focused on right now that we're forgetting that all these people that want to get married, I don't know if maybe in the comments, if you can comment, but how many of your couples have moved to 2021? And there's going to be a lot of people that get engaged like they do every year over the holiday season and all those different things, to where you have 2 years into one. And if you're not careful, you're going to lose out on a ton of money. So knowing your numbers, knowing your pricing, that's going to be very, very big for 2021.
Yeah, definitely. So I know a lot of us are scared to raise our prices. I think that's just kind of the advice that whenever you hear about somebody else or you see their films, you're like, how much did you charge for that? Oh, you just need to raise your prices $1,000 or, something like that. And it's scary. And as we're talking about raising our prices and stuff, I think that we're taking advice from people that don't know our market, don't know our area, don't know anything about what we do, how we do it. Like they don't know anything. And we are so scared to raise our prices, especially in kind of the climate of our current industry, the world. And we believe that this training will help because, again, this will help you charge more on a wedding, but not actually raise your prices, raise your base price. So one thing that I want to do is I kind of want to walk you through a little bit of a story, a little bit of a timeline here of what I have gone through since, the early 2018. So in 2018, I remember booking a $2,800 wedding. My bookings for 2018 were kind of low. And so I dropped the price and I said, the next person that books this, I will just book them at this price. And this was the wedding when I was with John, and he kind of got into this a little bit, but he said, I charged like $8,000 or $9,000 for this wedding, and he goes, Nick, if I were as good as you, if I could shoot like you could shoot, if I could edit how you could edit, I bet I could start at $12,000 or $13,000, and it just hit. My floor or my mouth hit the floor. It just dropped. And so in mid 2018, I really started talking to John and learning from John. And I started implementing his system and thinking about pricing and how to sell and that sort of thing. And so at the beginning of 18, but then going into 19, my average booking was around $4,800. With several in, 5,000 in mid. As I moved into 2020 this year, my average booking has been about 5,500. As I'm looking forward to next year, my average booking is about 6,000. I said 5,500 and then 6,000. And, in all of this, you're like, well, but COVID's going on. How is this possible? Well, in the middle of COVID, I booked my highest package ever using this method, which almost made me a $10,000 booking. It was like $150 short. I was trying to think of something that I could add on for $150 so I could make it a $10,000 booking, but almost $10,000 booking, from doing some of this stuff. And yes, my base price has increased over the last couple of years, but it's not like I in 2 years, went from starting at $2,800 to starting at almost $10,000. There's things that we have done where I've been able to increase my booking without actually, really raising my prices. So there we go.
Yeah. And watching you do this over the years, I think in the microwave Amazon Prime world that we are in today, we forget that the best way to build your business is through a slow and steady crock pot, let it simmer method. And this is so important to your business. And you see those numbers of Nick charging $2,800 to $10,000. That's been over a 3-year window of time or 2.5-year window of time. But he was doing the right things to get to a point. His work was there. You have to look and say, is your work good enough? Does your work need work? do my packages need work? And so these things all work together. And Nick had everything except for the confidence to know his pricing should be higher, and it's a hard thing to do when you're thinking about raising your prices. It's a nerve-wracking thing because this is a lot of our sole income. It's like, well, what if nobody books us? And so I remember Nick being a little apprehensive to raise his prices, but then he got that first booking that was a little more expensive, and it was like, oh my goodness, would have all of these people booked me for more if I would have just raised it earlier? And we're not here just saying, hey, just raise your prices. That's not what we're talking about. But without Nick even raising his prices, he was able to make more money per wedding. And so it's so cool to see your story. A lot of people in the comments are clapping and saying, way to go, Nick. And it can be your story too. But what did Nick do? What did he change? After 13 years of doing this, what did I learn that made it to where we could charge what we're charging, and that's the secrets we want to talk to you guys about today. In the first one, Nick, we made more money by including less in our packages. And I want to spend a few minutes here. This is the first bullet point, is I want you to look, if you're watching, look at your packages and really look through them and say, is everything that I have in this package absolutely necessary to book weddings? Is this me throwing in a lot of new things just so I can get bookings? Is this me trying to overcompensate? Because I've noticed that couples, sometimes when you include everything for not very much, they think something's wrong, or they think you might not be good enough, or that, if you're too cheap, they're like, I don't want to book you because you're giving me all this stuff and something seems fishy. And usually that is just our insecurity. And so write on your notepad or write in your notes to go look through your packages and think, is everything that's in here what I need? Nick, whenever we first started talking, when you're charging $2,800, what all was included in your packages? What all did you have in there that you ended up? What are some things that people might be thinking about taking out?
Yeah, I think the most common things that people are considering taking out of their packages is going to be like the ceremony edit, the toasts, any kind of, the dances, that sort of thing, removing those, from the packages. And I remember, as I was sitting here, my thought was, well, if I don't include the toasts, or if I don't include the ceremony, or if I don't include, that's what my couple wants. And, I was comparing my previous couples to my current couples. Okay. And the thing that I think that all of us need to think about is how do you know? You're saying that this is what my couples want based on that is what they have always gotten. Okay. You don't really know for sure if that is in fact the case. So the experiment that I started doing after listening to John was removing some of these things. And if I have let's say a $3,000 package that has, a 10-minute film and a ceremony edit and the toasts and the dances, okay, even if I keep my price at $3,000, but I cut that 10-minute edit to, let's say, a 6-minute edit, or I get rid of that ceremony, I get rid of that toast, I get rid of those things and just have coverage and a 6-minute film. Okay, I have now given myself a raise because I am not including as much in it. Okay, but we think that our couples want it when we're not really sure. We're just assuming because that's what we have always given them.
What would you take on if you had an extra set of hands? What would you do with your free time if you didn't have to edit? So many of us get bogged down in the post-production hustle that we never seem time to focus on our business. John and I both felt that way until we found Wedditor. Wedditor is a post-production team of top wedding film editors and project managers that give your films and brand the extra eyes, ears, and hands that they need. Not only is Wedditor delivering films we love to our couples faster, but we can invest ourselves fully in other areas of our business knowing that Wedditor has our back. Be the first to know how your second shooters are doing, how those new LUTs work with your footage, and relax knowing your couples are getting the full attention they deserve on every single project. So what could you do with an extra hand? Head over to howtofilmweddings.com/Wedditor, whether you're ready to start now or preparing for next season. Be sure to use promo code HTFW for $50 off your first project. If you're interested in this service, make sure you head over to howtofilmweddings.com/Wedditor soon. Fall 2020 spots are lined up and filling up fast. Wedditor, more than freelance, more than outsourcing.
Yes, and so many people are afraid, like, especially the people in the package system, you know, the small, medium, large package, they think they have to include a whole bunch of stuff in that small package. And, you know, we've talk about it in our course a lot about building out packages that sell. And we've talked about that a lot on our podcast. But really, the thing that you've got to be looking at, and when I looked at Nick's packages, it was just like, okay, wait, you're including all of this for, you don't have any room to make more money as it goes. And so I want you, if you're out there, think about your couples, especially COVID-19 couples that are trying to figure all these things out. But if you're recently engaged, you're not only thinking about video, you're thinking about the dress that you need. You're thinking about transportation from the ceremony to the reception. You're thinking about catering and flowers, and there's just a lot going on. And you're only looking at the videographers, or you're looking at videographers and photographers, and it's like at the booking time, they may not know exactly what all they really even want. And it may just be confusing for them to have so many different things inside of the package. Now, we don't think you should just give them like 8 hours of coverage and that's it. We want you to give them something that you feel really comfortable with. I know Nick and his wife Jen include ceremony edits in their packages because that's something they really believe that they want in every single package. Or so looking at it and saying, okay, I know, and I'm putting myself in the couple's shoes. They might not know everything. And in our points in a little while, we're going to talk about, building this relationship and selling things over time, but include in that initial package what you feel like is absolutely necessary to do like what you would want to give your daughter if you were filming her wedding, or your son or your sister, or that's kind of, for me, what I do with my packages is that. And I don't include all these extras. And so it really, honestly, Nick, just I think comes down to a lack of confidence. And if you're not confident in yourself, couples aren't going to be confident in you. And so I remember Nick taking out a couple of the things that he was doing, and nobody even moved, like nobody blinked about it. I remember doing that with my packages. I used to include the ceremony, a 40-minute edit, like all these different things, because I'm old, and that was like the normal thing, was like all these. But it was like, okay, what if all I did was include an 8-minute film, digital download, the coverage time? Like, would anybody notice? And people just kept booking like regular. And then it was like, I don't have to do this ceremony edit. I don't have to do these toast edits. And this is something that I can then sell in a little while, a little later down the road, if it's something that they want. And then that would be a raise as well. Without raising my prices, I pulled things out and then was able to say, hey, do you want a ceremony edit? But I don't do that in the initial booking. I wait a little while and build that relationship and let that crock pot simmer.
There you go. That's good.
Taste that slow cooked meat.
Good,
I love me a good crock pot. I don't know if you guys know that.
Oh man. So another thing that you can do to make more money is by elevating your client experience. I think that a lot of us wedding video people could take some major cues from how photographers come at their clients, come at their wedding days, and how they treat their clients the entire time. Whenever my wife and I got started, she was a photographer and then quit doing photography to join Wild Oak Films, full time, so we could be a husband and wife team. And the thing that she has always harped on, the thing that she has always come back on is, I hate it that there isn't like something tangible that we can give them, something that we can do to make them feel, valued and welcomed, and that we want, really want to be there. And so we have started, with Photo Flash Drive is one of our sponsors on our podcast, and we have really started investing and looking into some of the various products that they have. One of them is these custom hard drives in these boxes that we could send raw footage on our clients. And this is something that, I'm not just going to give them, right? This is something that I'm going to charge them for, but it's something tangible, something that looks nice, something that they'd be, I think, proud to own, even though it's just a hard drive with, their raw footage on it. Another thing, and I don't have a picture of it, is the playbooks that they do, where it's just a little book that looks really nice. You open it up and then their video just automatically starts to play. Okay, that's elevating the client experience, where they said, man, when I book Nick and Jen at Wild Oak Films, they're not just, filming a wedding. Like, I get something, I feel something, but not and this kind of is bleeding over into what we're going to get into next. But one of the things that we really believe in is serving our clients well and treating them really well. This is Greetable, and that's GreetBL, right? Isn't it just BL? I think
Greet ABL, GreetABL, no E.
Yeah. There you go. So this is just a little box, and you can put your own pictures in it. You can put your logo in it. You can write a little note and then send a $10 Starbucks gift card or something like that. And this is something that we currently send to them whenever they book with us as just a thank you for booking with us. It costs us like $20, and people freak out about this little thing that has, a Starbucks card in it or little gummies in it or, something like that. That has really elevated our client experience, just sending this little thing here.
Yeah, and I want to take this a different route too. I want you to soak this in where it's like you do need like the whole overall experience that you're giving your couple. Like at a certain point, and maybe some of you have been out there, I realized that I couldn't afford to hire Redeemed Productions, my video company. I realized that like the people I was trying to reach for to raise my prices were people that I didn't know too many of them. They were more wealthy than me. They were more affluent, and it was like, what do these kinds of people expect from a higher end product? And you have to look at your brand a few steps ahead of where it is now. It's kind of the whole thing that we talk about, it's like shoot this year how you want to charge next year. You have to have your brand experience this year, what you want to charge next year. You can raise your prices without raising your prices by elevating your experience for your couples today, even though they may not have paid for that elevated experience. You upgrading that experience, I don't know how many times I've sent something like a Greetable or a hard drive, or have just, brought them an extra Starbucks or something, and they post about it on Instagram and their friends see it, or we send them like a little magazine or a little, postcard, and they're like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited to work with John over at Redeemed Productions. And like, there's this branding that continues to grow with this client experience. And I remember doing a wedding a few years back, probably 2015 now, where like they were going next level on the wedding. And it was this big knockout, like beautiful country club wedding. And I just remember thinking, I've got to elevate this experience with them. So I did all kinds of extra things and took really good care of them. And what happened is almost all of their bridesmaids, like the bride's bridesmaids, have used me now and have hired me, and I was able to make more money without raising a single price because of just the mindset that I had looking at my business. And if you don't change your mindset first, the reaction follows the action. And so if you don't actively change your mindset towards your branding and your experience, nothing will change moving forward for you. So you have to do that now to get that experience going, and then people will notice you'll be able to make more money. And so when you're building this experience with people, they trust you more. They expect to spend more. It's like you go into a really nice hotel and there's this experience, and the bellboy takes your bag to your room, and it's like, oh my goodness, I need to give him a $10 tip because he's like, the experience is so much better. Or, and that's the kind of thing where it's like, what is your brand saying to people? What is the experience? Do they never hear from you between your booking them and the wedding day? What is your experience? So anyway, I really want to hit on that because it's kind of an intangible thing, Nick, but it's so important to you raising your prices.
One thing that I directly correlate to the success that Jen and I have had, obviously doing some of this stuff that John has taught me. But when I went to the first venture, one of the things I really picked up on were same day edits for us, and not a full, 5-minute film. I'm talking about 1 minute, just music. No, I don't even put music to it actually, because the DJ's playing it. I just show it on my laptop, but about 1 minute long from the day. It was a complete surprise to my couples, and that, oh my word, I would open up my laptop and I would hit play, and they would just get their eyes would get big, and no, and that was something that just caught fire and really, I can't tell you how many people talk to us and say, oh my gosh, that was so amazing. Thank you for doing that. Like that client experience was something that they will never, never forget. So, thinking of things, and because of doing those things, I was thinking future, and now I'm able to charge more. And that's one of the reasons why, because I laid in groundwork for 6 months and I dedicated that I was going to do this no matter what for about 6 months. And now here we are 1.5 years, 2 years later, and we're still doing it and people are still being blown away by it. So there we go.
Yeah, and I remember looking through, and then we can move to the next point, but like Nick, whenever I was watching you in this process, of going from $2,800 to $10,000 bookings, and like this year I just booked almost a $17,000 package just in the last couple of weeks in the middle of COVID, and it's just like my mind is always blown by the fact that there are so many people out there willing to invest if they understand the value that you bring. Mm-hmm. And what Nick did is you invested into Wild Oak Films. They weren't paying you for these same day edits. And, maybe that's not the best fit for everybody that's out there, but you need to rack your brain and think, what can I be doing into investing into the client experience? You weren't guaranteed any extra money by doing these same day edits. But what happened is you kept planting those seeds and planting those seeds and watering them. And over time, people were like, oh my goodness, I want to book Wild Oak Films. Look at these incredible edits. They're so fast. They get them out so quickly. There was this whole vibe and feel that you gave by doing this client experience with them. And it was like, it completely changed your whole trajectory in your business. A 1-minute film, like you're saying, without music, that's just 5 to 10 pretty clips that you did. You're able to post that on your social. You're able to tag all the vendors. It's this slow digging again and again and again. And what happens with that elevated experience is you start to make more money. You get to have more impact with your couples. It's where it gets really fun. Like, who here would just love a $15,000 wedding booking where they love you, they completely trust you, they love your branding, they let you do what you want to do on the wedding day, they let you help plan the timeline, they love you and treat you like family. If you would love that, post in the comments, yeah, I'll take one of those, please. Yeah. And yes, people are asking, yes, I did book almost $17,000 package in the last couple of weeks. My mind hurts from that was as much money as I made in a year in 2005. So it's like, wait a sec. But yes, and it's all about that experience. And Nick, the last thing here today is making more money by educating your clients. And I want to spend the majority of the time talking about this educating of the clients, because I think a lot of us just expect people to know what we know. And if you're not building that relationship with them, you are missing out on not only a lot of money, but a lot of fun with your couples. Now, there are a handful of couples, in the ultra luxury market that don't want anything to do with you. They just want to book you. I'm not necessarily talking about them, but you're building a relationship with those couples. It really changes the entire game for you. So one of the things I was teaching Nick and what we've been doing as Redeemed Productions, my company, is we build that relationship. And from the time that they reach out until after the wedding, it's a very tight relationship. One of those things is our 6-month checkup. Another thing is the after the wedding upsell. And we're going to get into all of these things about how we do what we do. And I wanted to show you a real life example of Carly and Tyler. This is a wedding that I just filmed in June of this year, and they booked me last August. So this is, if you can see, this is my actual HoneyBook template. What I sent them, a custom 8-hour video package for $8,000. My starting price is $6,500, and they added a rehearsal dinner, so $8,000. And I personally wasn't going to be able to be there, so I gave them $1,000 I wish I could be there discount, and I was going to have one of my associates shoot it. And they booked me for $7,000. This was last August, I believe so. And so then what happened, as soon as we booked them, I started texting with the bride. I started building this relationship with the couple, answering questions, being that authority, being that person that they are asking for referrals with, and just connecting with them. I have an email template that I send them that's like things to be thinking about 8 months out from your wedding, 6 months out, and just really setting myself up as a hand-holding guide next to them and building this relationship. And what that does is they ask me before they do pretty much anything. And so 6 months out, I have a template email that says, hey, we should get together for coffee. Or, now it says, let's get together on Zoom. And we just walk through what's in their current package. And at this point, we've probably texted 100 times or 20 times. Like, we've just been very involved at this point. They know who we are. They are a little less stressed about booking things. And like I was talking about earlier, now you have time. You've built a relationship with them. They're not just thinking you're this salesy person that's trying to sell them something. They have realized that you add a lot of value in educating them, and you've built this relationship. So 6 months out, we met with this couple. They added 2 shooters for an extra 2 hours. It's $700 an hour for my footage, so they added $1,400 worth of coverage. And then COVID happened, and they had to move their original wedding date to June, and it was supposed to be in May. And I just pitched the idea. It's like, well, why don't you do a little ceremony in your backyard, and we can still film that? And they were like, we love that idea. And so they added 2 more hours of coverage, $1,500 for me to shoot a little backyard ceremony for them. So you can see I started out at $7,000, then I added $1,400, then I added $1,500. Both weddings happened. I'm good friends with the family at this point. I know the mom's name. I know the dad's name. I've been building this relationship. After the ceremony is over, I send a message to Carly, a few days after the wedding, after their honeymoon, and say, wow, what a great wedding that was. I had teed her up, talking to her about ceremony and speeches before the wedding. And I just said, hey, your speeches were incredible from your rehearsal dinner. Your ceremony was incredible. If you would want to do both of those, that's $1,000. Or if you want, this is a thing that I pulled out of my edit, from several years ago. And now I'm able to add this in as an add-on. And then looking through all the footage, I knew we could make the wedding film longer. And so they went from a 6-minute film to a 10-minute film, adding $1,700 more to their package. Now, you start adding all those things up, Nick, and it's kind of crazy, but we were able to get over, it was like $12,000 after it was all said and done for this one couple, instead of the $7,000 initial booking, where most people try to cram all of that information into the first meeting. They end up losing the couple because it's overwhelming, and they're not putting themselves into this client experience. They're not putting them into this mindset where you're the person that's the authority in the industry, and you're the one that's going to help hold their hand. And once you've built that trust, you can sell them things that they really need. And so I didn't raise my price. I started out at $6,500, but they ended up over time. This whole process, Nick, was like 11 months of time. And in 11 months of time, they went from a $7,000 booking to a $12,000 booking, which is the same as 2 weddings for the price of one. I raised a ton of money, or I made a ton of money without raising my prices. I talked a lot. Anything to add to that?
No, I love it. And you just think about yourself, as you're watching this. What would you rather do? Would you rather pay $6,000 for something or $12,000 for something? No matter what it is, you're like, $6,000, right? But what if you do have the budget for $12,000? But still you'd rather spend that $6,000. And it's just that psychological thing of not overwhelming them, not putting too much out there. I remember when John and I got started and I started implementing a lot of these same tactics, he was like, dude, you are overwhelming your clients with so much information, giving them all of this stuff that they can book. They don't know what that is. They don't know what this is. You're just confusing them or overwhelming them. And so by doing it this way, you're like, hey, let's get the ceremony, or let's get the wedding day film. Let's get you your 6-minute film. We'll cover this stuff. But then whenever you get closer to the wedding day, we'll talk more, and maybe you might want to add more stuff. I don't know, like where you're going to be, but let's talk about that later when you have more information. Okay. And not overwhelm them at the beginning, which is what so many of us do, trying to jam everything down all of our clients' throats.
Are you tired of just sending a link to your couples when you are done with their film? Do you want to deliver something they can actually see and feel? Something physical? We are so excited to tell you about Photo Flash Drive. Photo Flash Drive's customizable hard drive and solid state drives give your client a peace of mind. Take your delivery experience to the next level with your couples. Photo Flash Drive uses state-of-the-art Seagate drives that are 100% customizable. PFD has the ability to print your logo, your couple's names, or both on the drive. You guys, we picked up a few of these and they are so good. We cannot wait to blow our clients away with this next level physical product. Not only can you customize these drives, Photo Flash Drive offers high quality, customizable boxes that you can brand with your logo to really blow your couples away. My favorite is the rustic slide box that has our logo engraved on the cover. Having a high quality product like this is something that has been definitely lacking in my business. The custom hard drives and solid state drives with cases are a great way to sell additional items to your couple, a great way to offer a full branding experience, and a great way to leave an impression. And today we have a deal for you. Use promo code HTFW15 for 15% off all hard drives, solid state drives, and cases. Head over to howtofilmweddings.com/photoflashdrive to see all the details.
Finding the perfect song for your wedding film can be so frustrating. We spend countless hours searching for the perfect song. When it comes to licensing music, Nick and I both love Musicbed. Not only do they have the best music, but their website makes it so easy to find the perfect song and to find it fast. We have both been using the Musicbed's wedding subscription for years and cannot recommend it enough. Not only are they adding new music from incredible musicians like Chapters, The Light, The Heat, and Tony Anderson all the time, they've made it incredibly easy to search their library for mood, genre, instrumentation, and even key. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to howtofilmweddings.com/musicbed and use promo code HTFW for a free month of a Musicbed wedding subscription. howtofilmweddings.com/musicbed. Now, before we move on, and you're correct, Nick, is I want to make sure that if you're out there watching, these numbers, this is my 14th wedding season, and I don't want it to be like, well, yeah, of course you can do this. This works if you're new. This works. It's not like a huge, just mind-blowing secret, but it's like if you just take your time with your couples, like what would life look like for you if you made 10% more per wedding? If you had a $3,000 booking and you added $300 more per wedding, well, that's, if you do 20 weddings a year, that's an extra $6,000 just by doing it that way, which is the same as booking 2 more weddings. And that's a way to have more, like, it's so much easier to get more money from a paying client than going out to get a new one.
Yes.
And is what's allowed me to have only 15 weddings this year. And so when COVID stuff hit, I had freedom to say, well, can you move to this day? Can you move to that day? I'm not backlogged. I can really think about things. And so, this all pulls, it works with itself. But if you're out there watching and you're like, oh my goodness, like $500 more per wedding, that would change my life. That's kind of what we're thinking. It's like these are big numbers and I'm very confident in my product and what I'm doing. And I see a lot of comments like, oh my goodness, $12,000. And it's like, it's the same difference. If you're not good at this when you're charging $2,000, you're not going to get to a point where you're good at this when you're charging, $10,000 or something like that per wedding. So you can apply this knowledge directly to what you're doing. If you look at what's in your packages, make sure those are good. You elevate that client experience like we talked about, and then you educate your clients, walk them through an entire process. And Nick, this is only really scratching the surface, to be honest. I mean, there's so much more that can be done. And this is actually really cool for us because this is a very small tip of the iceberg portion out of our course, and I really am excited. We had this course launch in February. A ton of people enrolled for it, and we're bringing it back, Mr. Nick Miller. We're bringing it back.
We are bringing it back.
Complete wedding videography course. Throw us a clapping emoji in the comments or a yo-yo or a hey or something like that, because this is really cool. The complete wedding videography course, we go into so much more detail about building your business. We have an entire module inside the course about it. And it's crazy, but like whenever Nick and I decided to do this course, and you can ask a lot of the people that are in the course that have loved it, that have raised their prices. We have so many testimonials, but there are a lot of courses out there that tackle one portion of a wedding video business. We wanted something that was complete, and that's why we named it the Complete Wedding Videography Course. This is 25 hours of content. There's 3 modules, and each of them are broken up into sections. It's really easy, so you can go in and pick different things that you want to learn, or you can go through the whole thing. And this is a playbook, a lifetime membership into this course, and we're constantly adding new things to it. But business, shooting, and editing. And over the last 13 years, Nick, for me, and the last 8 years for you, we've learned a thing or two, but we've learned a thing or two not to do when it comes to your business.
Yep. And that's one of the things about education is I wish that I would have learned this earlier, where if I can invest in myself and learn from someone else who has made all these mistakes, how much more will I be ahead? Britley, one of our students that went through it, she said, I'm 2.5 years in and I can't wait to see where I'm going to be in 2.5 years because of what I have learned from this course. There's all of this stuff in it. One of the cool things that we are including in it is a behind the scenes wedding of John shooting an entire wedding. He had someone film him as he was on a wedding day. He's talking through the shots that he's doing, everything he's thinking about. And then I do a behind the scenes of me actually editing of an entire wedding film from start to end. You get to see my entire process using Adobe Premiere Pro. I know that might bother some of you, but my entire process of editing and how I'm able to come up with some of the films that I am able to come up with and what I'm thinking there. There's so much stuff included in this course. We also have some phone consultations where John and I have actually recorded, we got permission, John and I have recorded ourselves, as we're talking to these brides and couples as we're going through their meetings. And so you can hear the sales process and how we are going through that. We have all of our digital products that we sell at howtofilmweddings.com. All of them are wrapped up. All of them are included in this. Access to a private community for mentorship. We have a group where we are active and we talk and we answer questions and we help people and we mentor. And then we do monthly trainings through all of this where we go live with that group and talk to them and encourage them and help them. What do you got, John?
Nick, this whole thing, and so we're really excited. We're about to tell you when this course is going to be back open for enrollment. But again, business, shooting, editing, we break down the entire business side of what we do to run our six-figure businesses, the entire way to shoot through an entire wedding day, editing an entire wedding, behind the scenes at a wedding, recorded phone calls. In our digital shop, we have our consultation guide and email templates and contract and all these different things. Everything that's in our digital template shop is part of this course that you get. You get access to our email templates and all that good stuff. And then my favorite part is this private community. Every month we go live, we do free, we'll watch people's wedding films, we'll review their websites, because ultimately trainings like this are great and hopefully they get you riled up and ready to go. But we need constant mentorship. We need somebody holding our hand and saying, hey, we got to get better here. We got to get better here. Because if you look up, you might be 3 months down the road and you haven't worked on your business at all. And that's what that's all about, is that community. And there's so many people in there asking questions all the time. And so every month we go live in that group. We're adding new videos, new content all the time. And so it's a complete, all-encompassing course for, wedding filmmakers out there. And it's our passion and our heart, and I'm super pumped about it.
And
so, yeah,
the launch date. We are launching. This is going to come back on sale on September 15th. Enrollment opens September 15th. So just in about 3 weeks from recording of this, we will be live. You can head over to completeweddingvideography.com. There you can actually click on the links and you can actually view a free section of the course. It's a really, really good one that we one of our students went through it, and she said that she was charging basically doubled her prices going through some of the stuff that she learned in the free section that we are giving away. So go there, completeweddingvideography.com, check that out, get a free section of the course. Yes, John.
We're ahead of time. I can talk. I was going to say, if you're out there watching and you have purchased and you're in this course, leave a comment letting people know if it's worth it, if it's not worth it, that sort of thing, because I think it's kind of hard to process and what all this means and can mean for your business. But the reviews from it, the students that are in there have been so amazing and have been giving such great reviews. And we've, it's Kalina went from $900 to $4,500 bookings and different things like that. And so if you're in there, be sure to leave a comment and let people know in the comments just your experience with it, with the course, if it's worth it, that sort of a thing.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Here's one thing that I want to do. If you're out there in the interwebs watching, or if you're watching on the replay, why don't you type in your one takeaway from today? I think that the action steps and having a mentor to action step your face off and make you do the next thing in your business is what separates courses from other courses, and what separates us is we want to be there with you and hold your hand and help you grow your business. I get so much enjoyment out of seeing Nick and his business flourish. This is, again, it's just one of the small portions of this, but Nick has done the same for me when it comes to shooting or editing or lighting. Like I have really upped my game when it comes to reception lighting and speech lighting and my edits and my color grading. And it's because I've been able to pull from Nick's knowledge. And that's the thing when it comes to some of these courses, Nick, is yes, you can go through all 119 episodes of our podcast and get probably 40% of the information that's in this course, or yes, you can go to YouTube videos and find different things, but the time that you're going to save by going through a course like this is going to be worth its weight in gold. If you can bump your prices up by $500 or $1,000, like this kind of course is what changes lives. And watching people like you, Nick, go from 2,000 to 10,000 and seeing you flourish and watching you just like reap the benefits ridiculously good because of all of your hard work. That is what we're here for. We're in the impact game. Like we want to be here to be that mentor for you. So people are putting their comments, their biggest takeaways.
Good. What are some of the comments that you're getting?
If you're in these comments, copy and paste these, steal from other people. Supercharging your customers and going above and beyond a simple transaction makes a world of difference to couples and makes a more peaceful overall experience. Yes. Brian says, my takeaway is that I need to create smaller packages with more add-ons. That seems to be the ticket to add more value. That is a great option. Sarah said, have the confidence to upsell to clients and not feel sleazy rather than just be okay with what they booked. Good. Brandon, 2 big things for me is adding more to my client experience, but also not giving away so much in my standard package. Edgar, my favorite comment, Nick. Edgar says, have the John's charming negotiating skills. I like that. Thank you, Edgar. Man, there's so many in Zoom. Nicole had a great comment. Not to overwhelm your clients. The process of upselling can be part of the experience. That is so, so good. Over on Facebook, Nick, Emily says, I've been wanting to create more packages with add-ons, and this confirmed that. Guys, just think of all like that you can do for your business with a mentor, with somebody to hold your hand, with a course like this, and we're going to be doing some more of these free workshops, Nick. We're going to be doing these as kind of a build up to the launch of our course, just to show you more behind the scenes of what we do. We're going to actually in the next training kind of show you behind the scenes inside of the course itself, just so you can see some of the different sections and things like that. So yeah, it's going to be great. Seriously though, hopefully this information was super helpful for you all. We're going to leave it up in this free workshop until the course launches. So if you need to watch it or want to watch it again, or if you had to watch it on the replay, be sure to click that link over at completeweddingvideography.com to sign up. And we're going to give you a free section of the course, a 45-minute breakdown of our consultation guides. Super great. So you can just kind of see what the course feels like. Nick and I are in the same room, which is rare. But yeah, so that's the part of the course, and we have a lot of good stuff coming up. Next week, we have another training. We're going to do one of these a week leading up to the big open enrollment. This is something you should really consider for your business. It's an investment into you and getting ready for 2021. We cannot stress it enough how important that is. So thank you guys so much for being on. Nick, thanks for being awesome.
Thank you.
As always.
Yeah. Thank
it's
you.
It's always fun hanging out with you.
Yeah.
You're welcome, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. This was great. Congrats on investing into you.
Yeah. And until next time, actually, we're just going to, next week, same time, same place, we're going to be doing this again. So be here for that. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.
See ya. Well, that was our free workshop where we talked all about raising your, no, we didn't talk about raising your prices. We talked about making more money without actually raising your prices, how John and I have been able to do that in our businesses. We are so excited that the Complete Wedding Videography course is coming back online. You can enroll for it on September 15th. So our simple call to action today, head over to CompleteWeddingVideography.com. There you are able to download a free section of the course, and you can hear and see the things that John and I are actually teaching on in that course. So again, that's CompleteWeddingVideography.com. Again, John, so good to hang out with you. So good to learn from you, even after all of these years of us hanging out. And until next time, we will see you.
I'll see you guys.